So there's been this tag video going around. I don't even know if it's a tag or just a topic that seems to be very big on YouTube. It's gone over onto the blogs, and it's 10 things, 15 things, 50 things that you're no longer buying in a move toward minimalism. I can't even say the word. And I have had a few requests for me to do this as well. So I am giving it my own twist because I have a very different feel about minimalism. And I'm not judging anyone who is going toward that path. If that's your thing, cool. As they say, you do you. But I am not a minimalist. I don't want to be a minimalist. It's not a goal of mine. I don't want to be wasteful. I feel like I'm very good about setting budgets and living by certain guidelines and constrictions. But I have reached a stage in my life where I don't want to be a hoarder, but if I want something, I'm getting it if I can afford it, and I have no intention of cutting things out of my life and depriving myself so that I can, I don't know what the goal is. And in 2020, when quarantine hit, I actually thought, gosh, I wish I had maybe not purged as much as I had when we couldn't get to the stores like we used to, when things weren't as easily obtained, even things like paper towels and toilet paper. Not that I ever really stocked up to a crazy amount before, but now I fight the urge every time I see a fully stocked paper towel aisle to just grab a few extra just in case. So 2020 for me has not been the year to motivate me to declutter and do less. This has been the year for me to embrace everything I have, be grateful for every single thing I have in my life, and to maybe stockpile a little bit more. Now, that being said, there are things that I no longer buy or buy as much as I used to. So that's where we're going with this thing. So I have my list on my Wonder Woman stationery, and I will go through them. I think we've heard this one on everyone's list. It's got to be magazine subscriptions. Now, I still get some magazines because I keep getting airline points saying they're going to expire, you need to use them, and it's never enough to buy a ticket. So I keep turning them in to buy magazine subscriptions, and there are even things I really want to read, and I even place them in strategic spots so that I will read them, and I never do. Once in a while I'll see something that catches my eye and I'll grab that magazine, especially for car trips or plane trips. Not that I've been on a plane trip anytime recently, but for the most part, magazine subscriptions are a thing of the past for me. Also, something I buy less of, or maybe not even at all, are movies. Now, I'm not talking about going to the movies. Obviously, nobody's buying movie tickets these days. But between Amazon Prime and Hulu and Netflix and on demand on my own cable subscription, and yes, I still have cable, there's a reason for that, I don't find the need to rent or buy the premium ones or go to Redbox or get DVDs. If it's not available for free, I'm just not all that interested. And to be fair, lately I seem to have lost my love affair with watching movies anyway. So there's that. As to why we still have cable, some of the channels that the other members of my family are into are only available through our cable subscription, and they can still access it by signing in on an app, even though they don't live in the house. Mostly NFL Red Zone. And I know there's ways to get around that, but it's just the easiest. And since it's all bundled in with my phone service, yes, I still have a landline because our cell service is so spotty here. In an emergency or a power outage, I want to still be able to call someone on the phone, like 911. And our alarm is hooked up to that as well. And my internet is all bundled. So I have a better deal with cable. Anyway, whatever. So that's why I still have cable. All right, let's get on to the next thing I no longer buy. This kind of pains me to say it, but actual physical books. I just don't buy them. And I was one of the last people to jump on the Kindle bandwagon, but as someone who is a voracious reader, I'm reading a new book every few days. There's no way I could physically keep up with, well, one, monetarily purchasing that many books, but where would I put them all? I mean, they would take over my house. So I've embraced ebooks, Kindle, whatever you want to call it. I have Kindle Unlimited. It is $10 a month, but I can borrow so many books that way for free. My library has amazing downloads for free. I still do buy Kindle books fairly regularly, but I don't have a physical book so much. I can't remember the last time I bought an actual book. This next one is fairly recent to me, as of May 18th anyway, and that is junk food, and I'm gonna include soda in that. I started the Faster Way to Fat Loss program. There's a new session coming up if you're interested. I'll put that info below, but Ever since then, I've really gone 180 degrees on my attitude toward healthy eating, and I eat healthily and I feel really good. And I used to be a sugar junkie, and it would be painful to pass by a Whataburger drive-thru without going through it and grabbing like a vanilla milkshake and their breaded chicken fingers. Now, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I can't eat gluten or bread anymore, and so that kind of kills the majority of fast food, but not French fries. So I just don't find myself wanting it, craving it. It doesn't fit into my life plan. I don't really eat junk food, and along with that is soda, and included in that is even that sparkling sweet carbonated water that I used to get from H-E-B and Walmart. I just drink water for the most part, an occasional adult beverage, and I feel like, strangely, I'm not missing anything. Another thing I don't find myself buying as often, I still do buy it occasionally, are fresh flowers. Mostly because they're kind of a pain. I mean, they're so beautiful. There's nothing better than receiving a bouquet of fresh flowers as a gift. I 100% am behind that. But then they die, and then they start to smell, and the water gets icky, and anyway, since I've discovered how many great fake flowers are out there that are really reasonable in price, mostly from Amazon, I think you can see, no, you can't see, but behind me I now have like cotton buds, and I think they're lamb's ear, like some kind of fuzzy leaves. They're all fake. They last all season long. The ones I get from Amazon are so real looking, so I just don't see the need to buy fresh flowers like I used to. All right, now let's move more into the beauty and fashion part of this no longer buying. And I'm sure I could come up with more, but we're gonna keep it to 10. So one of the things I haven't bought in a long time, and these used to be on my favorites list, are makeup wipes. So if any of you have ever watched Caroline Hirons, I think she cured all of us from buying makeup wipes to wash our faces. And I do like the convenience factor, but the reality is that they really weren't cleaning my face at all. And I love to do a double cleanse, which I feel is far more effective than using those nasty wipes. And there's just so many reasons not to use makeup wipes. There are some, like maybe if you're camping. Camping would be a good time, or if you're at a festival. Other than that, I just don't see the need for them, and I feel like my skin is so much better without them. Along with that is a very specific non-purchase, and those are cotton balls. Now, I still like to have like more of a cotton pad around if I want to just do a little extra deep clean for my eye makeup. I used to use Bioderma on a cotton pad to first clean off my eye makeup and then do the oil and then do the regular cleanser, so it's basically triple cleansing. And now the oils I use are so good and they don't irritate my eyes, so I just skip that step completely. I do have cotton pads for occasionally if I want to if I missed something under my eyes, but I don't reach for the traditional cotton balls. I used to use those to take, mostly just to take my nail polish off, but they leave the cotton all over your nails. They're a mess, so I actually have special like cotton rounds with a backing on them that I get from Amazon that are specifically for nail polish removal, so it won't ruin your manicure. Like if you're just trying to do your toes or just one nail, it won't seep through and ruin your current nail polish. So anyway, the actual cotton balls, don't have them. I think this next one is more a result of me reviewing makeup for the last 10 years, but I no longer buy makeup just because it's new and I'm curious about it. Because if I have to declutter anything, it's makeup, and I do keep up on top of that, but I still buy so much specific makeup for specific videos, and I still am on quite a few PR lists and get even more makeup that way, that if I'm passing by something and it's like a trend or it's brand new and I'm just curious about it, I don't just jump on it as soon as I see it. At this point in my life, I'm happy to sit back, see if it fills a hole in my current routine or a product that I just feel like I need, and then I will buy one of them, but not all of them. Like I remember whenever, I don't know, Wet n Wild would release a new collection, I'd be all over town trying to buy every single shade and every single option, and it's just not that appealing to me. I think also because my collection is so extensive, there are very few holes in it, and so I just don't feel that need anymore. And I don't feel like in the good old days of YouTube, when you would be the first one to give a review, you get so many more views than everybody else, and I'm just not chasing views and I'm not chasing subscribers. I'm really content with where I am, and if I grow organically through word of mouth or for someone searching for something specifically, that's great. But I know I'm never gonna go viral, and that one elusive review is not gonna be the switch that turns it for me. So I'm happy just kind of chilling and deciding, do I really want it, or am I just reviewing it to review it? Because I also know that a review just because I feel like I have to is not going to be a very good review. 2 fashion things I no longer buy. So the first one are mini skirts or short dresses. I'm not against anybody else buying them. I think if you can rock a mini skirt or a short dress, go for it. There was a time when I felt very comfortable doing so. I no longer feel that way. And I don't feel like I'm missing out. Now, I'm not saying that I'm wearing knee length or lower. I'll wear above the knee, but I am personally not comfortable in a short dress. And I don't care how good I may look to other people, but like if my husband is complimenting me, I mean, that's nice, but as long as I internally don't feel comfortable, I know I'm not gonna look my best. So there's no point. I'd rather wear something that I feel confident in rather than uncomfortable. And I think that goes across all fashion choices now. I'm not gonna pick something just because it's on trend or because everybody else is doing it or because it's supposed to look amazing. If I don't feel amazing in it, it really doesn't matter what it really looks like on me. So for me, it's mini skirts. It's not gonna happen anymore. And then the last thing that I no longer purchase, and again, this is one of those, oh, but they're so pretty, uncomfortable shoes. Just life is too short and I'm too old to put up with uncomfortable shoes. And it doesn't mean high-heeled shoes, because I have tons of needle-like ice pick 4-inch stiletto heels that are incredibly comfortable. I have flat shoes that pinch and rub and hurt my feet. So it's not a heel thing at all. But I don't care how on trend something is or how cute it looks. If it hurts, if I can't walk in it, it's not happening. I don't have time for that, and I have too many shoes as it is. So I've gotta draw that line in the sand somewhere. Uncomfortable shoes, you're not coming in this house. You get returned. Something that should have been returned, but I forgot and I've missed the deadline, is what I'm currently wearing right now. I just want to mention this. This was what I thought would be a really cool caftan that I was planning to wear more like as a cover up or to just lounge around the house, and I really wasn't planning on leaving the house in a real sense in this, but I didn't realize that caftans come in sizes, and I think this one is way too big on me and it's falling off, but it's super comfortable and I think it's still really pretty. I like the print, so I decided to take it out for you guys, but it's ridiculous. I will stop buying clothes that do not fit me. That's number 11 on my list, or at least I will stop keeping clothes that do not fit me right. They will go back. Except I missed the window on this one. So this will now truly be just a house dress. So that was it for me. That was my very lame approach at becoming a minimalist, because I'm not planning on becoming a minimalist, but there are things at this point in my life that I'm no longer interested in purchasing or diverting resources toward as much as I used to be. I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the things that you're cutting out of your life, or maybe they just weren't things you ever purchased and aren't ever planning on purchasing, even though lots of other people do. Let me know in the comments below what those are for you. If you like what's going on here, that is a video that is coming up. I filmed that one as I was getting ready. I figured might as well film a video. So that's coming up soon. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.